Good afternoon, I'm Malcolm Jordan and this is your Midday News Fix for Tuesday the 16th of July. Donald Trump's running mate is Senator J.D. Vance. The Republicans' National Convention has begun in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's seen Trump formally selected as the Republicans' presidential nominee. Fox News chief political analyst Britt Hume says Vance is 39, bright and articulate.
He's got a lot of talent. He'll run rings around Kamala Harris in any debate.
The Police Association feels a recent pay deal doesn't recognise the force's work enough. An independent arbitrator stepped in after negotiations with the Police Association failed, siding with the government's offer. Association President Chris Cahill told Mike Hosking, while it's not the worst deal ever, it doesn't get officers, even with inflation, back over the past years.
And the other thing it doesn't do is address the big increases in demand, the big increases in risk and complexity of the role.
However, Police Minister Mark Mitchell says it was the best they could do.
I'm not diminishing the way that our frontline police are feeling, but people will make their decisions in terms of what's right for them and their family.
A warning, Māori and poorer New Zealanders will suffer the most from the changing climate. Parliament's Finance Committee has begun hearing submissions in its inquiry into how to adapt for climate change. The goal, to set up an enduring framework for sharing the cost and responsibility which can outlast any government. Reference Group Chair Matt Winneray says the Crown must help people unable to afford losses and Māori.
Retreat is a major issue for iwi Māori due to the location of Marae and Papakāinga close to Awa and Moana and a strong connection to the whenua.
Support for moves to try to capitalise on hiring freezes in Australia's health sector. Late last month, several Victorian hospitals announced temporary freezes as they grappled with budget pressures. Health Minister Shane Reti has encouraged his team to see how we might entice some of our graduates to come back off the back of it. Nurses Organisation CEO Paul Goulter says they'd welcome being involved in any moves to bring New Zealand domestic nurses back to our shores.
If there are hiring freezes in Australia and we can put together a package that would get them back, I think that's a good idea, and we would look forward to working with the Minister on that.
Supply chain issues and tariffs are set to be a major focal point as New Zealand's Trade Minister meets with economic heavy hitters. Todd McClay's meeting the group of seven, known as G7, this week for the first time in our country's history. The group of major global economies, including Italy, the US and the UK, will be talking together. McClay says he'll be discussing non-tariff barriers.
We think there's about $12 billion lost to the New Zealand economy through exports as a result of the standards that are put in place around the world.
David Seymour is outlining a new direction for Pharmac. The acting Prime Minister and Associate Health Minister says he'll be outlining new expectations for the government's drug funding agency this afternoon. To sport. 9-test All Blacks hooker and former Dancing with the Stars champion Norm Hewitt has died aged 55. He had been coping with motor neuron disease. The All Blacks have chosen to rest Patrick Tuipulotu at home rather than have him travel to San Diego for Saturday's test against Fiji. And Black Ferns co-captain Kennedy Simon has signed a 4-year extension with New Zealand Rugby through until 2028. That's the longest commitment by a women's 15s player since they went professional in 2018. I'm Malcolm Jordan. That's your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update at 5 p.m. from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.